I am Marlene Motivates, and I am your life coach for all of the motivation, inspiration, positivity, and mindset shifting that you need in your life. So, if you're new here, you're always welcome to hit the like and to subscribe to this channel. So, today, Motivators family, we're going to be talking about I am responsible for me. And the thing that is so important in talking about this topic, hey Tamika, how are you doing? Good morning, happy Saturday. And Nolan's girl, good morning, happy Saturday. How are you all doing? Welcome in to the podcast conversation. I hope everybody's doing amazing this Saturday. I hope you had a good week, and you're going to get some time to get into doing some self-care Saturday, and that's why I do these series at 11:30 on Saturdays. Some of them will be live on camera. Other ones will be podcasts. If I'm busy out and about, I'll have to do it in a podcast format, but the reason why I wanted to do these conversations is because it's so important for us to get into not only um, feeling good, but also focusing in on ourselves, giving ourselves the opportunity to say, it's okay for me to pour into myself. It's okay for me to work on myself and to be a better me. And I don't know about you all, but sometimes as a woman, I'm sure men as well feel this way. You feel guilty about prioritizing yourself. You feel guilty about not doing what you need to do for yourself. And I wanted you all to know that it's okay to pour into yourself. It's okay to do for you because you are valuable and important, and especially when you're busy, working, you're busy taking care of a family, children, if you have a spouse or significant other. You have so many things that's on your plate that we really don't think about what's going on with us and what we need as women and men. And we all need to take care of ourselves because we cannot show up for others until we can show up for ourselves. So I did want to say that. Give yourself the permission to do everything you need to do so that you can be okay. That's the important priority and the importance of today's discussion. Make sure that you are taking care of yourself, your mental health, your emotional health, your spiritual health, because you are valuable. And we're the ones that have to speak up and stand up for ourselves, whether it's with saying no, whether it's setting boundaries, whatever it is. I want to say that to you all. Make sure you're setting the proper boundaries with others so that you can actually pour into yourself. Hi, official. How are you doing? We have to be the ones to pour into ourselves. And if we don't, nobody is going to think about us but us. You have to pour into yourself, take care of yourself, and know that I deserve to do everything that I need to do so that I can be okay. So let's start this conversation today, everybody, shall we? I am accountable for me only. When we talk about that, I think that it's important for us to think about the right now and the present. Most of the time we focus on our future. Hi, pal. Making sure we focus in on our present, but most of the time we're only thinking about our future and what we need for, retirement, making sure we're comfortable. But if we don't take care of ourselves right now in our present, we will not be around to enjoy our future. So let's get to talking about this topic today. I am accountable for me only. And I want to talk about 5 things that we are accountable for, and it's important on this self-care Saturday. Hi, Eunice. How are you? Happy Saturday. Yes, all is well here. I hope all is well on your end as well. I am accountable for me. What are some of the things that we honestly are accountable. I mentioned a little bit of it, but I want to get into talking about this right now, okay? Number one, I am accountable for my mental health. Now, most of the time, we focus so much on supporting others' mental health, making sure others are okay. But let me tell you something, when your mental health is not in a good space, it affects everything else in your life. That's why I wanted this to be the number one point. Your mental health matters. It's important to take time to pause, okay? Pause and think about yourself. It's not selfish. It actually means that you love yourself. And the majority of us do not pour enough time into our mental health. And mental health doesn't just mean just, oh, am I doing okay? No, it's really digging in deep. How am I doing right now in this moment? Am I pausing and taking time for me to take a deep breath? Am I processing things in the right way? Whether it be you going through some a big trauma in your life, a lot of times at this time of the year, a lot of people are pretty sad. They're feeling very lonely. They're feeling the pain of missing a loved one. And that's a tough thing. And it's not something that we really think about, or we try to think about. We try to keep our mind off of it. But during this time of the year, I think about so many individuals all around the world that have one person or a few people missing from their family table, missing from their lives, but they're always going to be in their heart. And it affects you. Everything is a day-to-day basis. It's not something that we just say, oh, a person passed away and you get over it. You never get over grieving. You grieve for your entire life. And that's why I say you are accountable for you. I am accountable for me. And that means knowing ourselves, knowing what we want, knowing what we need. And I want you all to understand that. You are important and valuable. Hi, Maria. How are you doing? Welcome. I am only responsible for me. Okay? You are responsible for you. Okay? That's what's so important. Okay? Awesome. I'm glad you're doing great. Miss Eunice says, let's see, I missed a comment. Yes, that is number one. If your mental health is not in the right space, you can't move forward in a positive way with anything in your life. Anything. Okay? So how do we focus on our mental health? Sometimes it means taking a break from a job, literally taking a few days off, cashing in your PTO, calling in sick, because if we are not in a good space mentally, we're not going to make good decisions. So sometimes it means taking some time off of work. Other times, focusing on your mental health means unplugging from other people, whether it be social media, whether it be our relatives, anything that is toxic, anything that is constantly asking or begging or wanting you to do something for them. We have to take a step back from that. And that's why I said, I am accountable for me. You are accountable for you. You know how you feel. And on this Self-Care Saturday, we're going to talk about that. We are accountable for how we take care of ourselves as women, as men, husbands, wives, sisters, aunties, grandparents, uncles, brothers, sisters. We all are a role to somebody else. But are we thinking about our own friendship with ourselves? How are you seeking to fill up your cup in a better way? How are you taking care of yourself the best way possible? And we always think about, my family is doing good. They're doing great. And we very frequently, we open up and we talk about, they're doing, and we like to boast and talk about how well other people are doing, because you are assisting and helping them to be their best. But what are you doing to assist to being your best? Yes, the moment of reflection and thinking about your own personal self-awareness. I am responsible for me. I'm responsible for how I feel. I'm responsible for how I take care of myself. I'm responsible for how I show up. Yes, Eunice, that's right. We are each responsible for ourselves, and it means learning to be honest with ourselves. Now, I don't know about you all, but I don't like when I become self-aware that I'm doing too much, as they call doing the most. Sometimes we do. We do so much for other people, and we do not apply that to ourselves. We will be so busy pouring into other people, and then ask yourself, when is the last time I poured into me? When is the last time I did something good for me? Only we can answer that, and only we can be the solution to that problem. And that's why I said, I am accountable for me only. You can't be accountable for other people. We cannot make other people treat us right or do the right thing or talk to us. But what we can do is we can set boundaries. So that's the next point. I'm accountable for me. And in doing that, I set boundaries. Now, we all know why boundaries are important. Boundaries are important because if we do not set standards, if we do not have a set guideline, people will run amok. People will constantly do whatever it is that they want to do to you. They will talk to you any way they want to. They'll run over you. They'll have poor behavior because you have not told them, I won't take this, I won't take that, and this is what I need. See, boundaries are important not only for them, but boundaries are important for you. Okay? Don't ever forget that. Don't ever forget how important boundaries are. Now, let me tell you, when we start being accountable for ourselves and paying attention to how we feel and what we're going through, what does it mean? It means that there's going to be some individuals, they are going to be angry because they can't use you anymore. See, when you start to know your own personal worth, there is absolutely nobody that can change that around and stop it. When you get introduced to confidence, when you get introduced to courage, you're not letting others control and dominate your thoughts. Don't ever let anybody tell you how you feel. You know what you're going through, but it's always about, how do I apply that to my life? Do I say, I love myself enough to pause today? Okay. I love myself enough to say, I need a mental health day so that I can, get outside, pour into myself, or maybe you just need to rest. Maybe you just need to keep your phone off so that you can recharge. When we are talking to other people or spending time with other people, we take away from our own energy. We take away from our time. We take away from our finances. That's why time is so valuable. Hi, Shelly. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Saturday. Happy Self-Care Saturday to you and all the chat. Oh, I'm doing awesome. I hope everybody is doing awesome too. And that's one of the things that I have to say to every single one of you. Make sure that you're doing everything that you need to do so that you can be all right, okay? Make sure you're doing everything you need to do so that you can be all right. And when I was just thinking about this topic, being your best self, I am accountable for me. When we are accountable for ourselves, it means, what are we going to do in order to shift things that we allowed? Now, I always talk about this topic all the time, almost every live stream. I talk about enabling to disable, okay? Now, I know that I'm guilty of it. I've been guilty of it for many years, and it's something that I have made a choice to change it. It doesn't matter how long you've enabled people, and we do it sometimes because we think we're helping people. But actually, when we enable people, we disable them from living their life. We take away their independence. We take away their ability to be able to take care of themselves, and we enable to disable. So that means that we enable people for the moment, okay? We're helping them, or we think we're helping people, but actually you're disabling them because you're not allowing them to think about things. You're not allowing them to experience some setbacks so that they won't keep making the same mistakes. See, one thing that I know for sure I used to be guilty of is we think we're helping people, but actually you're disabling them. You're stopping them from making better decisions because if they always know they have you as a backup, if they always know they can count on you, if they always know, let me ask them first, and they don't do some, mental thinking and meditating over a situation, they're never going to experience personal growth. They're never going to learn. And we hurt people when we do that. We think sometimes we're helping people by stepping ahead, okay? We think that. And I can't speak for all women, but I know for myself as a woman, I thought that's helping somebody. You think you're helping your spouse or significant other. You think you're helping your children, your siblings on the job, but it's just micromanagement. And I don't know who needs to work on it, but I know that was a major issue for me as a woman, micromanaging and feeling that things have to look this way and happen this way. No, especially if it's your children, make them have their space how they have it. Do not get yourself worked up about how other people want to live in their space. We have to back away from that part, okay? We have to back away from that. And I know you may not like it, or we may not like the way that they look, or how they clean, or what they do, but we have to allow people to live their life on their terms. And it's hard to release those reins of control. It's so hard to release it because actually we feel like, oh, if I don't do it, who's going to do it? I know. I'm definitely guilty of that. I used to always say that, oh, if I don't do it, then who's going to do it? Then they will. They'll have to step up to the plate. And if we are always stepping up, when are they going to have to? See, we disable them. We stop them from using their hands, using their minds, or learning to make better decisions. Because if they fall flat on their face and nobody comes to their aid, then they're going to learn a lesson and say, I'm never going to do that again. Okay. Shelley says, makes perfect sense. Miss Eunice says, that's right. You're stunting their growth. They had to learn how to fly on their own because we may not always be there. It's just something they have to learn to do at some point. Yes. And that was so hard for me as a woman. It's like we love people so much that we feel, I'll just do it. It's faster if I do it, whatever it is. No, even if it's not done the way we would do it, it doesn't look how we would do it. We have to take our hands off of the wheel and stop trying to ride another person's car per se. And we'll do that sometimes unknowingly, like, oh, just let me do it. Oh, okay, it's faster if I do it. Move out the way. No. Let's not be controlling. Let's not enable to disable. Let's let people make their own decisions. So that's one of the things that I definitely wanted to talk about on today. I am accountable for me. So in being accountable for ourselves is learning those boundaries. I will not try to control other people's life. I will let your children, you'll let your partner, you'll let your friends, your relatives, even social media, you let people be themselves. See, the problem with most of us when we talk about I'm accountable for me, we think that most people, they think, they act, and they show up for others like we do. See, we cannot expect ourselves from other people. And for me, that was a major life lesson in my life. I thought because I was kind, because I was supportive, because I was understanding or compassionate, or I would do certain things for others. But if they do not show up and do the same for you, why are you wasting your time trying to do that for them. So I hope whoever needed to hear and receive that message, they got it and it's locked in. Stop expecting you from other people. You'll be disappointed. You'll be frustrated. You'll end up in the hospital with high blood pressure. And at the end of the day, you still will not get what you want because people will do, say, and show up or not show up because that is them. We have to let people be themselves. And in the meantime, we cannot let others stop us from being our best self, okay? Let's get into point number 3. I am accountable for me. I am accountable for my spiritual health, okay? You're responsible for your spiritual health. So whatever it is, your belief system, but we are responsible for how we feel spiritually. And every single person needs a connection to whatever it is that you believe in. And it's so important to tap into that. And when we are so busy pouring into others, not filling up our cup, not setting boundaries, not thinking about our mental health, we get disconnected. And it could be the reason why we have that mental health issues. It could be the reason why we cannot have peace in our life. We have to connect. And then we can have the support that we need to continue through this life because nobody can do it on your own. So these are some of the things that I want to talk about in making sure you're connecting spiritually is to take a moment to meditate, okay? Take some deep breaths. Read some spiritually supportive material. Spend time out in nature, connecting and understanding that your life is more than just you. Because we get so busy in the life day to day, we need to get out there, okay? We need to get out there and hear the birds singing. We need to be able to feel the sun on our skin or the wind on our face, and to understand that there is life outside of our four walls. There's life outside of our relatives, your family, your friends, that we need to disconnect from others so that we can connect to ourselves. I hope whoever needed that message, receive it. Make sure you get out there and you connect with nature and connect with yourself. On this self-care Saturday, we always want to talk about that. I am accountable for me. I'm accountable for how I feel. I'm accountable for what I'm going through, but also what am I doing to balance, okay? And we know when we're feeling low. We know when our energy is low. We know when our vibration is low. We know when we're not feeling supportive and you're really going through things. But the question always is, what am I going to do with that? Are you going to ignore it and say, oh, I'm just tired? Oh, I don't have the time. See, if we want to make an excuse, motivators, family, we will. So don't make an excuse for you. Why? Because we are valuable and important. Okay? When you know your value, when you know your worth, you act different. You move according to that. So don't let other people stop you, slow you down from your potential, from your blessings, from hope in your life. Okay? Miss Eunice says, yes, my spiritual connection to the Creator is a must for me. Amen, Miss Eunice. Me as well. Shelly says, same here. Shelly says, thanks, Marlene, for a great message. Awesome. Thank you so much for your support, everybody, and anybody who is listening in the replay. I just wanted to put this out there. As ladies, as gentlemen, we don't always get the supportive words that will say, you are valuable. You are important. You are worth it. You have value. But if we don't get that from others, we need to give that to ourselves. That's something that I had to learn as an adult, because especially if you are around people who are manipulative, controlling, people who have some mental illness, they may not understand. They do not always know what they're doing. So we have to be very careful and take care of ourselves. Be mindful about ourselves. Be mindful about how you feel. Hey, East, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Saturday. So that's one of the things that is so important. We have to think about how we feel. You have to think about how you feel. You have to think about what you're going through and what is important to you, and then move according to that. If other people do not value you, why do you keep doing things for them? It's just something that we have to learn the balance in this life and stop lying to ourselves. Learn to be honest with yourself and transparent. This person doesn't show up for me. This person doesn't support me. They don't listen to me. They're not encouraging to me. So act according to that, okay? Don't lie to yourself. We do that. Ladies and gentlemen, we will lie to ourselves a lot of times and put this narrative in our head. Oh, they care for me because I do all of these things. Just because people are taking something from you, or just because a person is in your life, it doesn't mean they're in your life with a pure motive. They're in your life because of what you're doing. I always say you will find out who somebody really is when you stop doing those things. Stop giving them money. Stop tuning in to their sexual needs. Stop doing it, whatever it is. Once you stop doing certain things for people, then you will find out who really cares for you and loves you. It's just a lesson, okay? People will say with lip service, they'll say it with their mouth, okay? I'm here for you. I love you. All these sweet words. But really, who are they? Okay? Hey, Robert, how are you doing? Welcome. Happy Saturday. Hope you're well. Awesome. Ista, he says he's good. Love to hear that. Okay. Miss Eunice says, I try to read the Bible daily. It really does help me to encourage me and reassure me. I love to meditate as well. Awesome. I love to hear that, Eunice. Great tips. Okay. Thank you for the awesome message. Thank you, Miss Eunice. I really appreciate everybody's support. Miss Eunice also says, yes, I just had to reevaluate some things and people in my life. They always have their hand out. I'm always giving. I have to take personal responsibility. A relationship is a two-way street. It sure is. Let's end all of the one-sided relationships, ladies and gentlemen. It goes for both genders. Ladies, stop doing all of these things and thinking that people love you. And the same thing, gentlemen, stop thinking because you're in their life, just because they say things to you, that they actually do care. Make sure people are backing up what they say, okay? The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the action. Because love is an action word, okay? If you only get this from this whole discussion today, I hope you get this. Love is an action word. And if people say that they love you, where is the proof? Okay? Don't have your ears tickled, or don't just because the status. This is not a certain social media site where they talk about in a relationship. Who really cares about those things if that relationship is not pouring into you and supporting you? Okay? Yes, please tap the like, everybody. Thank you, Robert. Okay? Yes, it is. It surely is, Shelly. Okay. So let's get into, I think we're on point number 3 in today's discussion, that I am accountable for me, okay? And another thing that we are accountable, we are accountable for our financial health. I know this is something that we really don't like to talk about. It makes us kind of feel uncomfortable to talk about our finances, but it's vital. When we talk about motivation, if there is not a motivation in your life, most of us are motivated to have our finances in order because every single person has bills. Things are expensive. We go through things. So whether you have somebody helping you and supporting you when it comes to your finances, but we all can be motivated to our perspective towards money. That's something that we can always work on. Money is not just to use. See, when I learned to retrain and mindset shift my thoughts towards money, instead of saying I don't have money, I switched that. I started thinking that money is here to support me. Money is to be respected. See, until you learn to respect money, until you learn to budget, until you learn to take care of the money you have, instead of just taking the money and just putting it, just spending it. When you change your perspective, your thoughts towards money, I found that I started to keep more of it, because you're thinking, you're not wasting. You're not just jumping on every bandwagon because of the latest electronics or the latest this, or trying to be like other people, feeling that you need to upgrade, upgrade, upgrade. See, that's something that really can mess you up, following behind, trying to keep up with the Joneses, trying to keep up with social media. There's always going to be a new and improved. One of the best things I ever learned in my life is learning to be satisfied, learning to be thankful, learning to have gratitude for what I do have, and knowing that my life is mine. This is what I can afford, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm not going to look down on myself because I don't have what this person down the street has. See, that is showing appreciation for yourself, showing appreciation for your life. Okay, my life is not the person down the street. Okay, because everybody has different situations. People have different family units and responsibilities. So don't think that you are less than because maybe the amount that's in your account is less. Okay, everything is riches is not just finances. Okay, this is just some game for a lot of us, because I remember when I was younger, I used to say I want to be rich. And then I had a client, and they said, who says that riches is only in finances? You can be rich with your higher power. You can be rich in love. You can be rich in your health. You can be rich with experiences. There's a lot of things that we can be rich in. It is not only finances. And I'm telling you, when you start to change and shift your relationship towards your money, thinking, planning, who you're around, are you giving your money away, or are you investing your money? Are you around people who respect money, or are you around people who always have their hand out? See, once I learned to shift and change my relationship with money, everything happened differently with my money. My shift began to happen, and I started to say, "Oh wow, I see a little coins in my account more than what I used to have." Because when we start changing how we deal with our money, are you giving it away, or are you thinking? Are you saying they need to handle their own business? Why is it my responsibility to always bail out other people? See, learning to say no, and learning that I'm accountable for me, and letting people handle their own business. Okay, I'm accountable for me. Okay, I'm not accountable for your children, especially your grown children. You're not responsible for your siblings. You're not responsible for whoever in your life. Okay, we're only responsible for taking care of ourselves. So unfortunately, sometimes we have to woman up, or we have to man up and say no. No, I can no longer do X, Y, and Z for you. You need to do that for yourself. And it hurts sometimes if you're a mom or a dad, or you're a auntie or uncle or grandmother, whoever. You've been enabling people for a while, and you've always been giving out, handing out money, money, money. And the more that you give them is the more they ask, and it never stops. We are the ones that have to make it stop, okay? It will stop when you stop it, okay? And that's something that I had to learn for myself. Nothing was going to shift and change until I shift and changed it. I had to shift it, okay? Because nobody is going to stop you from always giving them money. Nobody's always gonna stop you from doing things for them, and they're not giving back to you. See, and being accountable for yourself is learning to be honest, okay? I'm not I'm not getting what I am putting out there, to whoever it is, romantically, financially, spiritually, whatever. There, not that you're going to get a tit for tat, or you're going to get, I give this and then they give me this. No, but you have to also think, every relationship, we are in it because we're getting something from them. It doesn't have to be financial. It could be mental support. It could be spiritual support. It's financial support. There's a lot of reasons why we are in relationships, but it has to be something that we're getting poured back into. It cannot only be us pouring into somebody and we're never receiving back. Okay. Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Marlene, for the great motivation. I appreciate it. Okay. So Miss Eunice says money is important, but it's not everything. It's not the number one thing in life. Money can come and go. You can't take it with you. You sure can't, Eunice. And don't get me wrong, everybody. Don't think, oh, Marlene is saying, oh, don't get money. No, 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 no. You have to have money to survive, to pay your bills, to eat, to have a place to live, and to take care of the things you need to take care of. But money cannot buy you friendship. Money can't give you more time with your loved ones. Making sure you take time for what is important. And that's why I said, I am accountable for me. You are accountable for you. Make sure you're taking your time. And this is the next point. Make sure you are taking your time to spend with the people that you love. Work will always be there. Okay. We're always going to be busy. There's always going to be things, but will you make a priority in your life to spend some time, make time out of your busy schedule to spend time talking and laughing and making memories with the people you care about? At the end of the day, that is what is important. Okay. You can always get more money, but you can't always get back time. Time is a precious commodity. Okay. Shelly says facts. Eunice says, it's more important for me to restore my treasures in heaven and in the awesome relationships that I have with family and friends. Yes. See, it's all about your level of importance. And I know when I was younger, I was a bit of a numbskull. I only thought about, oh, I got to get you chasing money, chasing money, chasing money. And you don't think like, did I just waste 10 years of my life just working and never having experiences, never traveling, never having fun, never making time to get together, have, get-togethers with the people that you care about, taking time to travel or whatever is important to you, whatever it is that you like to do. But we must be balanced when it comes to ourselves. And while you work hard, play hard, go have some fun, laugh, put your feet up. That balance is so important in this life, okay? Miss Eunice also says it's important to keep your own cup full, and then the overflow goes to others. Yes, that's what I've always said. And it's something that we really don't think about most of the time, and that is making sure we keep our cup full. How do we do that? We keep our cup full by paying attention to our mental health. Okay, do I need to pull back from some people? Do I need to unplug? Or do I need to reset? because that is something that is very important when we talk about our own self. We all go through situations where some things just don't work out, whether it's a job, it's a relationship, it's whatever. But do you allow yourself to reset and say, okay, we're starting new. I'm not holding the past against me. It's about today. I'm going to be my best self in this moment. It's so important to give yourself that permission. It's okay to move on. It's okay to start over again. It's okay to make mistakes. But the whole thing about it, Motivators family, is that we don't repeat making the same poor decisions, allowing people to run over us and take advantage of us. When we go through something, and we get disrespected, taken advantage of, or maybe we ourselves, we didn't do what we needed to do. Do you learn the lesson? See, I'm accountable for me. Okay. And a lot of people do not have that within them. Zero accountability. They're always blaming another person. It was this and they did. Yeah. Yes. While people can do things to hurt us, but also what do we do? As Boss Life Online taught me, what role do you play in this equation? What have you done that caused that relationship to do X, Y, and Z? See, that's being honest. It's being, and then there's being transparent. But we're going to save that for another discussion, okay? He says there's too many transactional relationships these days. Yes, and that's what it is. People are only going to do when you can do for them. And I'm not saying it's not important to give, because I'm all about that. I'm all about giving back and doing kind deeds and supporting other people. But at the end of the day, it can not only be giving. You can't only pour out. You can't only be always stretching out your hand and nobody ever extending their hand to give to you. Okay. And if you have those people in your life, you have to learn the lesson. I do not have to do for them. I do not have to stay in the toxicity. I should not be the only person asking, how are you doing? Let's get together. You should not be the only person planning and doing and pouring into the relationship. Or if you don't do something, they will never do for you. See, it has to be on both sides or you will burn out. You cannot be the only one keeping a house. You cannot be the only one working. You cannot be the only one. You have to have a balance, okay? While you work, you should be refilling up your cup, making sure you're getting rest, getting your exercise, and having your fun. It's about balance in your adulthood. And that's something, this is not taught in school. This is the lesson from hard knock life. You learn, because if you don't pour into yourself, you will burn out. Trust me. Take it from somebody who has been there and done that. You will burn out if you don't say no. You will burn out if you don't take those vacations, because all a job is going to do is move on without you. Same thing with other relationships. Once you cannot give them what they need, they get tired of you and they move on to someone else. So don't think you being loyal to them is going to be enough. That person has to, in their heart, fully care for you and fully want to be there with all of the ebbs and flow in this life and want to be there for you and show it by their actions, not just lip service, okay? Yes, Estad, definitely I was a numbskull. Definitely. Yes, Robert says reflect, reset, and react. Yes, that is the topic for today. Yes, Robert, it is a two-way street. And if you're not getting, and if not giving and receiving, you are going to burn out and you will be done really fast. Okay. Eunice says, that is something I am struggling with. My husband and I, we're always putting together family events. We did have a talk with our family so that they can start helping out. Some are starting. Awesome. Yeah, you have to say things like, because I can't speak for everybody's family, but you could say that's a part of setting boundaries. This year, we can do something at my house, but next year it's not going to be here. See, you're already letting them know in advance. Remember, I said last year it's not going to be here? Those are the things that you do when you set boundaries with other people, or you tell people in advance. This time I can help you, but with a ride or with this money to help you with this bill. But this is the only time I can do this. So when they come back, remember I said this is the only time we do that. See, that is being accountable for you. That's stepping up. That's knowing what you want to do. And also, it is okay to say, I don't want to do anything. I can't do it, whether it's affording things or whatever. Hi, I guess your name is Sarai. Sarai Sering. How are you doing? Welcome. Happy Saturday. Shelly put up a target button. I'm on point. So we have one more point, everybody. I think we're on point 5, or are we on 4? I don't remember, but let's get to the next point. I am accountable for me. Another thing that we are accountable for our physical health, okay? We are responsible for our physical health, and we really don't think about our, we're on 4. Thank you, Estab. We are responsible for our physical health. Now, let me tell you, as somebody who has been like this in my health, my weight, my whole life, I was started off being a very like stick, and then going through certain situations, and then you gain, and then you lose, and then you gain and you lose. It's a very sensitive topic for women and men to talk about their weight. All I want to say is make sure whatever it is that you are healthy. I always want to promote health. I'm not a doctor. I'm not giving medical advice, but I'm just giving you some food for thought. Make sure you take care of your health, because your health matters. If you are not in a good physical space, then you got to do something about it. It's about how we eat. It's how we are dealing with stress. For me, I find that when I'm not dealing with stress well, I gain weight, and I find that I always gain weight at the end of the year, and then when the maybe the middle of the year I lose the weight and then I gain it back. It's just like this. I don't know how many people are like me as well. I've never kept a weight that is steady across the board. Like I just stay slim or I stay thick. I go. But the most important thing that I wanted to say to everybody is make sure you're taking care of your physical health. Make sure you're drinking your water, you're getting your exercise, a balanced diet, and keeping your stress down. That's something that I was reading. And like I said, one time again, I'm not giving medical advice, just some things that I have been researching and reading is when we have a very big amount of stress, we're allowing stress to control us. The cortisol in our bodies goes up, and that's the fats, and you gain. So when we keep our stress down, we're going to not only look good, but we'll feel good. Because when we take care of ourselves, don't you feel good? Like, I don't know about y'all, but when I look in the mirror and I look at myself and I'm put together, I've taken care of myself, or you're taking care of yourself mentally, or you're taking care of yourself spiritually, but in all aspects, when we take care of ourselves, don't you feel good? It reflects on your self-esteem. It reflects on your confidence. It reflects in how you are getting sleep, whether it's restful or not. When you do not handle your stress, when you allow life to take control of your stress, and you don't get behind it and say, this is mine and this is not. This is something that is very important. Very important. We have to understand what we are in control of and what is not. We're not in control of what other people do and say and think. That's none of our business. We are in control of what we do and say and think about ourselves. That's all we can control in this life. We can't control other people. We can only control what we do, what we think, and what we say to ourselves. So make sure it's something good. I want to put that out there to all the motivators family. Make sure you're talking to yourself really good. That positive self-talk, you know, telling yourself, I'm valuable, I'm important. I'm going to keep trying. I will fight. I will never give up on me. I am phenomenal. I have value. I have value. And you do. We don't feel like it sometimes. We feel that we do not have value because of whatever. And whoever is not in our life, or whatever mistakes that we have made. You got to heal that. You have to forgive it. You got to believe in yourself, okay? Let's see. I missed the comments. Let's see what I missed. Miss Eunice says, I make sure that I take time off work so that I can rest. They really don't care. Most of the time, you're nothing but a number to them. Exactly, Miss Eunice. Okay, and Robert says, most of the time, that is stress coming and going on in your body. Yes, Robert. And that's why I said we have to take care of ourselves. So whatever it is for you, ladies and gentlemen, whether it's getting more rest, whether it's setting boundaries with other people, not always being available. You don't have to answer the phone. You don't have to show up. You don't have to go to things that you don't want to do. That is stepping in and saying, I know me. I know what I want to do. I know what I like to do. So don't be a phony. Stop showing up to things you don't want to show up to. Just for people to say you were there. Who cares about those things? We have to learn to be honest with ourselves. If you don't want to be somewhere, don't go there and be complaining and have an attitude. Oh, when are we leaving? I no longer do those things. If I don't want to show up to something, I'm not. If I don't want to talk to somebody, I'm not. And I'm not going to explain it, and either should you. If you don't feel like talking to somebody, or you don't want to talk to somebody, you don't like somebody, be honest with yourself, okay? I believe in being honest and transparent, okay? He said, a symptom of living on earth with the enemy busy, very busy. Isn't the devil busy? I believe the devil's busy every single day. And if we are not careful, we will let the enemy and all the strings that he's pulling to make your life miserable. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. That's why you got to talk to yourself the right way. You have to connect spiritually. And this is the next point. I think this is the fifth and the last point. Make sure you have the right people around you, okay? We're talking about, I'm only responsible for me. And you are responsible for who you have in your life. If you don't have the right people in your life, I'm telling you, that can be your demise. It can be your downfall. You can fall flat on your face and never be able to recover from one poor decision, from one bad relationship, okay? From not saying no, from going places that you didn't need to go to in the first place, by not saying no to something financially, a business deal or whatever. But make sure you have the right people in your life that encourage you, support you, uplift you. They will help you spiritually. They build your confidence and not take it away. That's something that's so important. I remember being in a previous relationship and my confidence was like this because I never got, you're so valuable to me. You're so important to me. Not that I needed that, because I need that now because I'm a different person and I know how to pour into myself. But when you don't have somebody in your life and they never pour into you and tell you how important you are and how much they value you, if it's always like you have to do things for them, that it's never like, I appreciate you, thank you so much. When you don't have those things, step away from those people. Step off, back away, block, because they'll never change, period. Get them out your life. Yes, no other choices. Yes, God is the only answer. Yes, you have to believe in yourself. God will get you through every situation. And we have to make good decisions. We have to make good choices. We have to pour into ourselves, okay? Pour into yourself. Respect yourself, okay? Um, I feel like that is one of the most important things in this life. Respect yourself and know when you need to back away. Back away from a job, back away from a person, back away from social media. Just back away, okay? And focus on you, especially to those who I know we're going into the end of the year. And I know for myself, I go through every year, and it starts in October. Um, from when I experienced one of the worst losses of my life when my dad passed. Every year around October, I started getting this sadness, this loneliness, this missing, and it just overwhelms your mind. But when you feel that way, don't go through it alone. You're not alone. Stop telling yourself you're alone. You are not alone. It's when you have those dark moments, those dark thoughts. Make sure you tap in spiritually. Make sure you go to your accountability partners and friends. You have to get support when you feel low. You have to get support when you feel low. Don't feel that you have to do everything on your own. Even if other people in your life, they leave you. Remember, God doesn't leave you. Okay? He's not a man. He's a spirit. Okay? He knows you. He loves you. And he's there for you. But you have to reach out. You have to pray to him. And you have to trust that everything is going according to his plan for you. Because, listen, sometimes we feel like, how could this be the plan? But guess what? Sometimes everything has to fall apart for everything to come together. I remember thinking that way when I experienced all these losses and people started passing away back to back to back. Experienced 5 losses in 4 years. And I was like, how could this be God's plan? How could it be? But guess what? I didn't understand that those people had to leave so that certain people could come in, so that I could learn confidence, so that I could learn more independence, so that I could step into the role of what I need to do and teach people from my experiences and my personal growth and my healing. I didn't know that that pain had to happen so that I could be doing my life's work. It's crazy how that happens, but it's my personal reality, okay? Sometimes things happen in our life for us to meet certain people, for us to be able to find our mission and our passion in our life, for us to meet certain people in that painful time. And those are the people who are going to help you to get to your next level. So don't feel down. Don't feel disappointed. Don't feel sorry for yourself, okay? Because that's what I did for many years. I felt sorry for myself that I was experiencing loss. Don't sit there and lick your wounds. Turn your pain into your power. Yeah, you can shed your tears. You can be upset. You can be angry. But then give yourself a time limit and say, now it's time to rise up. Now it's time for me to use my pain as my rocket fuel to elevate. You are victorious. You are worthy. And you are enough. I hope that this message helped somebody. I hope it blessed somebody. It motivated and inspired someone. You have to be accountable for yourself, Motivators family. And that's something that I learned in this life. I cannot be accountable for anybody but me. I have to know when I'm not okay. And I have to say, I'm not okay. I'm not going in. Don't let anybody guilt you into it. Don't be afraid to lose a job if they're disrespecting you and burning the candle at both ends, Don't let people run over you. Don't let people talk to you any type of way. Stop going to things that you don't want to go to, okay? I'm accountable for me. You're accountable for you. First, you must respect yourself before others will respect you back. Remember, you set the standard. Know your power. Know your light. Know that you are talented and capable, and you are everything that you need to be to get through this thing called life. I appreciate every single one of you. I am Marlene Motivates, and I am your life coach. Anybody who has an issue, I do consultations. Feel free to email me. Yes, it is a paid charge. It's not for free, but I do consultations because I am a life coach. Thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate every single one of you. And if you're new here to Marlene Motivates, hit the like, subscribe, all of those things. Shout out to all my amazing channel members. I appreciate every single one of you. At, I think it's 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to do a shout out for my channel members. I thank you guys. Thank you to all the channel members. Thank you to all my amazing moderators that drop links that keep my channel clean. You are appreciated. And to all of my motivators family, keep your head up, respect yourself, love yourself, and know your worth. Feel free to join my channel membership. And I also have a Cash App and buy me a coffee if you so choose to. Thank you guys so much for your support. And on the Self-Care Saturday, pour into yourself, love on yourself. I'm Marlene of Marlene Motivates, and you know what we say over here. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. I will see you all back later for the Love Channel Member Show premiere, and then back on Monday for another podcast or live stream. Bye-bye, guys.